This is Movers and Shakers, where we interview the upcoming generation of Make It Happen multifamily investors to share their story.
Welcome to the Movers and Shakers podcast. My name is Gino Barbaro, co-founder of Jake Gino, multifamily investor, educator, father, mentor, and I am joined by my co-host, my brosif, Joshua Ryan Rusin, community director of Jake Gino. And Josh is right next to me, everybody. So this is a special treat for me. Josh, how you doing today?
Doing well, Gino. Very excited to be down here in Florida, hanging out with your family, my second family. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good. I'm going to have a lot of fun on today's show because these two guests have been with Jake Gino for over a year. And I remember when they joined, it was exciting. They came on the platform. I think we've expanded their mindset. I think we've expanded how they invest. So we're going to learn a lot on this podcast, Josh.
Love it. Speaking of today's guests, we have Hendra and Mercy Tambunan. So a little bit about them. Coming as foreign students to the U.S., Hendra and Mercy earned their degree from San Francisco State University. After graduation, Hendra has worked in pre-IPO startups, Fortune 50, and Big Four corporations, while Mercy worked in the hospitality industry and successfully operated multiple restaurants. After investing in single family on the side to save for their son's college fund, they realized that it's not scalable fast enough. It prompted Hendra and Mercy to start looking into multifamily by late 2018 and finally decided to jump in by mid-2019 with Jake Gino. To date, Hendra and Mercy have been involved in 4 projects with a total of 771 units as both general and limited partners. Welcome to the show, Hendra and Mercy.
Thank you for having us, though.
Guys, so what was the realization about multifamily that you said, you know what, single family is not there? What did you really like about multifamily?
Well, obviously about the scalable. There's so many aspect of it. Obviously, like depreciation, right? Cross segregation, tax benefit, and one thing that we truly enjoy about it is because you can see it as a business rather than just like buying a home and pray about it.
Mm-hmm. I like that. So, Mercy, are you still working at your job, or did you transition full time into real estate?
Oh, I am 100% full time.
So how does that look?
Absolutely. I love it. Other than being lonely sometimes, but I'm a frequent attending a lot of different meetups just to broaden up my horizon and also network as well.
Mm-hmm. So when you started multifamily, what was the big limiting belief? Did you have any limiting beliefs? Because like for me, when I started, my limiting belief was, how am I going to buy an apartment complex? Where am I going to find the money? How is anyone going to take me seriously? Did you guys have any limiting beliefs before starting your journey?
Well, for me, not so much because I like numbers. I like to look it up. How do we grow the investment and so forth. And one thing that really turning us around was actually I was opening up to multifamily and so like, yeah, it's a little bit harder to get in, maybe bigger capital and things like that. That's when I stumbled into your books, Wheelbarrow Profit. It just opened up my eyes. And I told Mercy, like, hey, we want to check it out. And maybe you can share your experience, though. What's your aha moment after reading that book?
Well, my aha moment is somehow, my first book is a Wheelbarrow Profit books. Mm-hmm. It just makes sense to me because I'm not a number person. I'm more like a relational kind of person. But I like the aspect of business, being an entrepreneur that I always been, being entrepreneur starting when I was young, still young. But yeah, but I, from that aspect.
So Hendra, I don't want you to lie in this question. How is the relationship and how is it working with your spouse?
It's great. I mean, you won't believe that. It's actually funny you brought it up because we work as a team together. I mean, we found it that the reason that we can accelerate where we are today just because of the family in it together. Mm-hmm. I thought I was a number person, and then until recently I just realized like, hey, I'm going to be on the phone a lot. I'm going to be meeting with clients. Maybe I can start broker relationship, reaching out to another people, community members, and try to tag team, partner teaming together. Mm-hmm. And Mercy, on the other hand, saying that she wasn't a number person to begin with, but she's helping me in terms of the underwriting the deal now in the background. And she's the one that running up all the meetup and thing like that, giving her experience and as a meeting planner. So that kind of like work up really, really well as a family too. So, daytime, like yesterday, I just got a call with the, broker in Dallas, and he just like, hey, I got a deal. Well, just take a look at it. I just sent it over to her, and then she just working around the clock. Like, here it is. Number makes sense. Number doesn't make sense. Don't go for it. Kind of like that.
So do you guys have any, Mercy, you have any advice for people wanting to work with spouses or even creating a partnership? Because to me, a family is like running a business. If you run a family, you're running a business and you're running a partnership. And when you partner with somebody, it is practically like you're getting married with that person. So do you have any tips, Mercy, on working with your spouse or working and finding a great partner?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the most important is this is the business. So when I'm talking with Hendra, I have to really putting myself, as a partner, not as a husband and wife. So there is the things that, I'm kind of disagree with Hendra, but I have to take it, I have to put myself out from being husband and wife. So I have to be, there are many times that Hendra is kind of pushing me, do this, do that. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I have to put myself that this is the business. The goal is to expand the business. So I have to be very clear and very positive, not taking personal, which a lot of us women like doing that. I have to really focus on the goal.
So don't worry. Not only women take it personal, I take it personal too. So Josh is always yelling at me. So we have to delineate between business and that. You make a great point, because really your lives are so intertwined. And if you don't have a good relationship and you're having a rough day and you're with your son and he's driving you crazy and you say to yourself, Hendra, this is not going to work, and you start arguing, you really have to pull yourself back and remind yourself that you're husband and wife, but at the same time, you're partners and you're holding each other accountable. So there's so many positives to working together. Hendra, why don't you share a couple of positives of working with your spouse?
So I guess it comes to, in terms of communication, the way I see it, I learned it from a drive-through operator. This is how I learn, right? Because when you drive-through operator, you listen what a customer wants, and you responded again by repeating what they really want, articulating, make sure that you understand what they're looking for. That kind of communication setup, like a built-in our family as husband and wife communication style. And then also I have to think about it, that we are as a family, as a unit. It's our best interest, to do everything correctly. So it's just not like trying to attack my ideas, trying to attack my opinion. He's just trying to say, hey, balance it out. What is the best for our family? And that's the way I see it.
I love that. Can you guys give me a couple of really positive things that came out of joining the Jake and Gino community before you were on there, and then when you joined on? What was really the aha moments after joining the community?
For me, the biggest aha moment is just the value and the like-minded people, right? I mean, we're coming from people that are strong in the family value, and we find that the same within the community. That's one thing that we truly enjoy, and we truly value that kind of people in our lives. Because I told Mercy, like, if it feel like more like joining like a family reunion when they join the community, because you almost certain that every people that you meet is going to be very nice, very open, very helpful, and very accommodating, and trying to work together.
I love that. And Mercy, what did you get out of it?
I think it's the relational that my biggest aha moment when we have our meeting, is that June, Hendra? The one in Atlanta?
I think so. Yeah, June.
June, okay.
Last year.
It's a money mixer. Is that money mixer?
No, Buy Right Bootcamp.
Okay. So I met with a lot of different people. So, I'm kind of, I don't know what to say during the meeting, but somehow the more I talk, everybody's talking the same thing. It's a team sport, being in the, it's like a family, I'm just adding what Hendra said, it's more families. And then it makes me more comfortable, especially when we have accountability part. It just enhances everything.
I've seen you guys grow a lot in the last year. You guys started your own meetup. I was actually on a meetup virtually with you. You started syndicating deals. You started raising capital, coming to the live events and actually adding value. So it's value for value. Also, I think that you take a lot from the community, but you also add a lot to the community. And I think that's one of the most important things about any community is not just taking, but also giving, being able to educate others and help them on the path. And also, you're also out there networking with students, and you're also actually partnering with students. I think that's a really, really big positive of the community. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, so I want to get in the weeds on some of your most recent deals. So I think the last one was 176 unit in Texas, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about that deal, right? What you guys liked about it, kind of the roles you played, and where you see the deal going, and how community and relationships were able to help you with that deal as well.
So that deal actually came to our table, through our relationship with the local broker here. And as we do initial underwriting, we reach out to our partners who got introduced to us in the first deal that we got through a community member. So, and we introduced it to them, and then apparently already been awarded with the deals. So we just come in and help and partner up, and then knowing that this is a really good deal, so we just go from there. And turn out that one of another partners is actually Eliza Zhang, which is another Wheelbarrow Profit community member. So that's all are intertwined, and we work together. And then it just blended nicely, perfectly. One thing that we like about this deal, we saw the property and they already got HVAC replaced about a year and a half ago. So that's about like $1 million or a couple of $1 million improvement already. And we just take it over and then just do a little bit exterior and a minimum CapEx coming in, and works perfectly number wise.
Love that. I didn't ask you this question. Why did you guys want to get into multifamily? What was the main reason? Was it for financial freedom? Was it for saving? Was it to get out of your job? What was the ultimate goal for you to get into it?
First one for us, obviously, to pay for our son's college tuition. And I think for Mercy, she just want to be in a business, and multifamily is a business. It's not just like investing, money and buying and hold and pray. But this is truly a business that we can see, like, how do we maximize the revenue and how do we minimize the expenses? And it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So Mercy, for you, why for you?
I think more so for our son, for Jeremiah. Definitely, I do not want him be in the student loan, because both of us, we don't have a student loan, and we are so grateful with our family, and we want to help him in that sense.
So for you, your goals were small, because I'm sure you probably already surpassed the college. And how has it been, Mercy, for you to actually work full time on the business?
Oh, I have to. I love it because definitely I need to have mental agility. And until, of course, I read your book, and then until this one book that's really opened up my mind is a book by Simon Sinek about Infinite Game. That's amazing. So it helped me to have a growth mindset, growing every day, learning every day, in communication, in a lot of different things.
So you bring up a lot of mindset there, right? Growth mindset and kind of learning. How much would you say mindset is of the business?
That's a lot, yeah. Because I mean, that's the thing that, because a lot of people mindset is just like, oh, I cannot do it, I cannot afford it, and then one thing that we learned from this journey in multifamily, I mean, don't be afraid to ask the right question. In fact, one of our first deals, a GP, is coming by asking the right question. One of the students, or a community member rather, posting just to close a deal. And I said to Mercy, like, maybe we can ask, and like, how can we help in that sense? And apparently there's something even though the deal's already closed, apparently there's some additional CapEx buffer that need to be raised. And then that's how we come in, and it's a GP in our first deal. by asking the question to the community member, not simply just like, can I get a deal, but asking like, how can I help you in this deal?
Yeah, I think you bring up a really powerful point there, right? Rather than I can't afford it, it's how can I afford it? And I think that the subconscious is very powerful. And what you focus on is what it's going to find and what expands. So when you're looking for ways to add value, rather than just take, all of a sudden you find that and you create a win-win. So I agree with that 100%.
And Hendra, it just lends to the book from Bob Burger, The Go-Giver. You know, the go-giver was a salesperson who just wanted to take. He was only worried about his sales. He wasn't worried about the person he was selling to. And once what you did is, how can I help that group close the deal instead of what can I get from that deal? Everything shifts. I think if everybody in life takes that approach and looks at it from that way, I know it's very hard because we're all out there. We're trying to earn money. We're trying to make a living. We're trying to put our kids through college. But if we really step back and say, how can I help that other person? If you ask that to enough people and you help enough people, you're going to get enough deals and you're going to have enough units and you're going to be able to live a great life. So I love that point. Before we get to short answer questions, I wanted to ask you, if someone comes up to you and says, hey, you know, Hendra Mercy, I want you both to answer this. How do I get into multifamily? What are the steps that I need to get into multifamily? That's the first one. And what would make me a successful multifamily investor? Could you both answer that question for me?
I would say from my personal experience, network and learn as much as you can and try to bring value to other people. Mm-hmm. That's how you open up the door. Mm-hmm. Many people, the mindset is getting into real estate investing, like I need to find a deal or I need to find the money. Yeah. It's like, that's great. Yeah, that's the step. But without the network, without, you know, understanding how everybody work together as a team, you will never get there. I mean, you're probably going to get there, but it's going to take you longer. That's what we learned.
I like that. Thank you.
And for me, it's more so on the educational. So I'm so glad I found you, Jake and Gino community. I learned from there. Bill Ham, I really appreciate him. So I've been calling him every deal. I will call Bill Ham and doing a Zoom call, record it, and then listen again. And also, as Hendra says, bring value. As a starter, I don't know what kind of value that I can bring, but we always, I think in each of us, we have 3 T. One is the time, talent, and treasure, right? And for me, the way I bring value, it's my time. 3 T's, yes.
I like that. I'm writing that down because that's the name of this podcast, the 3 T's. I like that a lot.
That's our philosophy of life, by the way. I learned it from my friend. You got everybody have a 3 T.
Yes.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that. And I got to give a big shout out to Master Coach Bill Ham because he's an amazing coach. No BS, right? You get on the call, you bring your deal, and it's really about your time, right? He values your time and you value his time. And the amazing part about the accountability and having a coach, people might think it's a waste of time, but what you could learn in an hour's time with somebody who's bought over 1,000 units, who's property managed, who's vertically integrated, it's an amazing thing because you can learn how to close a deal. You can learn all about the purchase and sale agreement. You can learn about the due diligence on the deal. You can learn about the takeover on the deal. You can learn about the financing on the deal. There's so many things that you can learn in that 1 hour call instead of trying to spend 16 hours on YouTube videos where it's somebody who's never done it before. So I think everybody out there, education times action equals results. But another thing that Hendra and Mercy are doing, which is really sort of being downplayed, is they put a ton of work into this. Those calls with Bill, they need to prepare for those calls, getting out there and doing the networking events, getting out there doing the money mixers, getting out there doing the meetups. There's a lot involved in that while working full time, while having a family. So the 3 T's, I like that, Josh, the 3 T's. So, and as far as getting into that, I like that. Now, what do you think has made you successful and scaling up so quickly? Can you guys each give me an answer on that question?
I would say that it's just networking, talking with people. The more I talk with people, the more I understand, and listen to them, by the way, when you're talking to people. See how can we help, right? And then there might be somewhere that I can help. I told everyone every time I end up my conversation, how can I add value to you? How can I help you? And I always tell them, like, even though I might not know all the answer, but I maybe can, point you the right direction or connect you with the right people. And even including a partnership. I mean, I might not be a right partner for you, but I can point you to the right people that can partner with you potentially.
I like that. And Mercy?
I would say we need to dedicate ourselves to learn, to continuously learning. Once we know, and then growth mindset, and also network is very important. Yeah.
I like that.
Well, one thing that I have to add up though, Gino, that Mercy has been the operation behind our meetup. I mean, she's a planner actually. Right now for our meetup, she already plan ahead like for the next 3 or 4 months. Who's the speaker? What date? And things like that in her agenda already. So she's the kind of person that that always plan ahead. And that helped us a lot as a family too.
So Josh has taught me this phrase: proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Remember that. So Josh taught me that. So he's always prepared. I'm kidding. Josh is not always prepared. But, if you really think about that, what you said really means a lot, because what happens is I'm trying to teach my 17-year-old son. He had his speech due today. Last night, he's worrying about it. He's got to download it onto Dropbox. He's never done that before. I said, Michael, proper planning. You had a week to do the speech. Why wait till the last day to do the speech? You may have a power outage. You may have Dropbox issues. You may have anything. So I agree 100% on that. So that is an excellent advice. Let's take a quick time out to hear from our sponsors.
Gino, I know a lot of our listeners are wanting to take their multifamily investing business to the next level. I know that you've been hard at work helping Jake and Gino students do just that using our framework. Can you explain to the listeners how they can get our help?
Guys, we've been hard at work growing our community of like-minded investors, and the results of our members has been nothing short of incredible. We're looking to grow this amazing group. What we're looking for is those who want to follow our proprietary framework that we've created: buy right, manage right, and finance right. Leverage our connections, education, and mentorship as ways to take your business to the next level.
So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become a part of our amazing community, apply to work with us at jakeandgino.com/apply.
All right, Hendra and Mercy, I got some short answer questions here for you. What is your favorite book and why?
I would say Go Giver for me, and Wheelbarrow Profit, obviously.
All right.
Mercy?
Mine is Wheelbarrow Profit. I really love it. That's my aha moment and opened my eyes. And the one that's opened my mind also is The Infinite Book by Simon Sinek.
I like that.
Love it, love it. All right, what about your best habit for success and why?
Best habit for success. I would say just constantly trying to connect with new people every week, or at least reconnect with the old connection, right? You're not just like a one once and done kind of connection.
I like that.
And for me is I prefer to I have to plan every week and then break it down to every day. So journaling is very important. I learned from Gino. Yes.
And I like that because I journaled this morning. And this morning I just sat down for 30 seconds, and this is being recorded during the whole crisis going on. And just a tip for everybody out there. My journaling this morning was just about gratitude. And actually I should share this with Josh. Gratitude this morning was working with Josh this week. So I'm grateful for that. I don't want to let him know that, because then all of a sudden he's getting a little cocky, little, but for me, that's, I'm grateful for that, because I haven't seen the team in a while, being here and working together. And it's uplifting. I have something to look forward to, being grateful that, the family is healthy, being grateful that I have a job, being grateful that I have an amazing team. So the journaling aspect of it, I'm trying to incorporate it again, because you fall off the wagon sometimes, things get a little slow. But then I said to myself, I really got to get up every morning and really lock in and really feel grateful, because there's a lot of things. And I always learn, whatever you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on negativity and you're focusing on your business and doing good, that's not going to be helpful for you. But if you can focus on for all the blessings and all the things that you have in life, that will expand. And then all of a sudden your outlook on the day was completely different. You know, instead of being raining outside, hey, it's just misting, not a big deal. So for me, everybody out there, journaling is really awesome.
Love that. All right. So there have been a really a bunch of great golden nuggets in this episode. And I want to kind of cover a few of them. One, so looking at multifamily compared to single family, the fact that you can run it more as a business, right? Even on valuing the properties, it's based more on the NOI rather than comps. So you have more control of that. Scalable. And then community is another really big one. That's been a key to be able to create success and helping going further faster and having the right community. And then also networking and learning as well. It sounds exactly like Gino said, education times action equals results. Gino, what takeaways do you have to add to this one too?
So I like how Hendra and Mercy have set up the business, because it really is a business. I love how well they work together. And I love how they don't try to take things personally and try to really look at the business and try to propel the business forward by being honest with each other. I think that's really important. And Hendra mentioned a few times about networking, and real estate is a network. It's a relationship-based business. It's all about the people that you know. And what I love more than anything else, I don't know if a lot of people caught it, but basically what Hendra said is, if I can't help you, maybe I can find somebody that can help you. And making those connections with others adds true value. So when it's your turn to ask for a favor or to see if there's a deal out there, that person is going to remember you. And it's always coming from a place of not expecting anything. Hendra never said in that saying, you know what, I want something from that person, from connecting that other person. I want to be compensated. He never said that, because he's always thinking down the road. People love to work with other people that don't think about themselves but are trying to help others. So that's really, really important. Obviously, the education times action equals results. That always gets things done. And I just think that gravitating towards a community or other people who are like-minded, especially in these times, you need to be like-minded. You need to look forward to the future. You need to continue to plan to grow your business.
Love that. All right, Hendra, Mercy, how can the listeners get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to, they can email us, hendra@ideaboxcapital.com, CAPITAL, or check out our website also, ideaboxcapital.com.
Awesome. Well, listen, I want to thank both of you for being amazing guests on the show and sharing your movers and shakers story. Now, if you want to be the next movers and shakers guest, email me, josh@jakeandgino.com. And if you like the show, please leave us a review. And until next time, let's make it a movers and shakers week. See ya, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.